Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 17. Thus said the Lord of hosts, Yahawashi, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil, and I will persecute them with the sword, with the famine, and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed to all the kingdoms of the earth, to be a curse and astonishment, and a hissing, and a reproach among all the nations whither I have driven them, because they have not hearkened to my words, said the Lord Yahawashi, which I sent unto them by my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, but ye will not hear, said the Lord Yahawashi. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahawashi, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahawashi, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahawashi, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahawashi. Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rachakodash. The water Yahweh Yahawashi. Forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone, who rule well and teach sound doctrine. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Okay. I had this video. This guy Glenn Beck. Okay. It says Rand Paul, why do Democrats still ignore risky virus research? Okay. I'm gonna just let the video rock. I'm gonna stop when they get, to expound at certain points. Okay.
The arrogance, the absolute, unashamed arrogance of Anthony Fauci is reason enough to have him removed from such an important position. He is out of control with his arrogance, and he is lying every time. Every time. I mean, you watch Rand Paul, and as I said this the other night, is there anybody that's actually looking out for you and really going after these guys besides Rand Paul? I mean, he's relentless on it, and he's right. As we showed you in the special last night, Fauci is guilty as sin on not only the gain of function and paying for that, but also for all of the cover-up, the phone calls and the meetings that happened to cover his butt right at the beginning of COVID is astounding. Rand Paul is joining us now. Hello, Senator. How are you?
Good morning, Glenn. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So, you've been on this for a while. Last night I explained and laid out the history of Fauci, all of the documentation, made the case. It's truly open and shut. Why isn't anybody else on this? Why isn't Fauci squirming?
It is kind of amazing, particularly that no one from the opposite side of the aisle seems to care at all about the dangerousness of this virus and that it might have come from the lab, and in all likelihood it did come from the lab. Not one Democrat is curious at all. You would think that Democrats have at least some sensibilities about, the danger of things. They tend to be the ones who want to regulate away things that could be dangerous in the workplace, but they don't seem to be caring about something that could kill millions and likely did kill millions of people. This virus has a 1% mortality and killed 5 million people so far around the world. Can you imagine if the next one that comes out of the lab has 15% or 50% mortality?
It's like it.
And they are doing experiments as we speak with viruses that have 50% mortality. And Fauci.
You hear this, man? I'm gonna rewind that.
Or 50%. This virus has a 1% mortality and killed 5 million people so far around the world. Can you imagine if the next one that comes out of the lab has 15% or 50% mortality? And they are doing experiments as we speak with viruses that have 50% mortality. And Fauci seems to have no problem with this. He says we weigh the risks versus the benefits of the research, and he comes down on the side that the risk.
And this is why I pulled that scripture. It says, it said pestilence. All right. We can go into that word pestilence. It says a plague, cattle disease, cattle plague, and the people here in America it's a proverb. They like to call the people of America sheeple, okay? Because it's so gullible. Babylonians have no idea what the fuck is going on, all right? This guy just said if they are testing 50% mortality rate, okay? And they 1% or was it 5% mortality rate killed 5 million people across the world. Well, whatever he said, the numbers, it don't even matter. This is just proving that Esau Edom is a fucking devil, man. The devil is not somebody underground with a pitchfork with fire all around it. No, man. The devil means to deceive, man. Diablos. It means to deceive, and this is what this man is doing. He is deceiving the whole world, man. Okay? And this shit, this shit is, the Lord really put the spirit on them to make them wicked as fuck, man. For you to make it a strain, a pestilence like this, it just showed you how much the Lord want to do away with this world, man. Because Lord said he was going to return in the days of Noah. And when the days of Noah were, the wickedness of people was extremely fucking high, man. The Lord, it was so wicked, the Lord had to wash the earth with a flood, man. Now he said he got to cleanse it with fire when Yahawashi come back, man. All right? That just show you how much water is a cleanser, but the most powerful cleanser is fire, man. Because this place has to be burnt the fuck up.
It's so worth it.
Hey, you devils gonna get it, man. All right?
But there are some dissenting voices. I mean, in the Washington Post about a month ago, a professor from MIT, Kevin Esbelt, wrote that these are risks to civilization that are not worth the gamble.
That was the thing that really struck me as I was doing this special last night was, these guys are making these decisions, and all of humanity could be wiped out if they make a tragic error. This is not something that the elites should be the ones making the decision. We should all be involved in this decision. There's no bigger decision to make than should we be playing around with things that don't exist necessarily in nature that have jumped to humans. Should we be playing around with these things, making that so in case it jumps to humans, we can kill it with a vaccine? This is insanity, especially with arrogance coupled to it. And we're not involved in any of these decisions. None of us.
Yeah, and I think the real danger here is that Fauci not only has a casual disregard for the science, but also for individual liberty. You combine the two, ignoring the science, and then having no regard at all for individual liberty, and you have a really dangerous situation. But it's also dangerous because we've centralized the authority. And what I tell people all the time is, look, I have opinions on where the virus came from. I have opinions on how to treat it, but they're my opinions, and you don't have to take them. It's through persuasion. If you agree with me, you can listen to my opinions. With Dr. Fauci, it's not the same. He has opinions, but he wants you to be forced to do as he says. So it is the difference between coercion and freedom. And in freedom, there are many choices. But the real danger is as we centralize authority, ultimately you get authoritarianism, and I think he could easily be a medical dictator if he were allowed to be.
Oh yeah. The one of the things that we found through our research. Let me see if I can grab it here. I have a.
Now watch this, man. They like. I'm gonna get this. Okay, because these scriptures, the Lord said, these things were created for the wicked. These pestilences, famine, sword, all of these things were created for the wicked. That's why the flood came, man. I'm going to start from the top. I'm going to run through it. It says, hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And this is what they're doing, man. Okay? This is a secret counsel that's being exposed. Okay, and he didn't expect this to be exposed, especially not by his own people. All right, Edomites. Okay, because 2/3 you Negroes, Latinos, Seminole, Native American Indians, you have no idea what the fuck is going on. And that's because the Lord want to do away with you niggas, man. All right? It says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, which is you Israelites. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not, right? Fearless, man. This man is literally trying to he's really trying to abide to the Georgia Guidestones, man. Okay? They will do it by any means. They know that they have but a short time, all right? It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? The pride of these devils, man. Even though it's been exposed, they're still forcing this. They're still forcing people to take this shit, man. All right? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right. It says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. I'm going to see what this says in the NLT. It says, as they plot their crimes, they say we have devised the perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. And, this is what, it says in Micah 2, woe to them that, I'm going to get that. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Okay? It said, I'm going to read it in NLT. It says, what sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans, right, in the daytime, at nighttime. They out here plotting, man. Just like a nigga on the corner, searching out, just like a nigga plotting, seeing when you go to work so you can go up in your house and take your shit. This is how they do. This is how Esau Edom does when it comes to creating evil, man. All right. He says you rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out simply because you have the power to do so. All right? And when you go into this word power, the word is Elohim. You know, this blue letter is going up. It says God, God like one, mighty one, mighty man, men of rank, mighty heroes, God, false God. See? And this is power, man. All right? I'm going to finish this video out.
I think it's 100 and here it is. It's like 180-page contract between the NIH and Moderna. Did you know that we are the co-owner of the vaccine from Moderna?
Doesn't surprise me, but no, I don't know all the details of the contract.
Okay, so the contract was, they started negotiating this contract with Moderna. The government said, we'll give you all the mRNA stuff, and you try to make a vaccine for all the new coronaviruses. In 2015, right after Barrick and Xi made their first Frankenstein COVID, the NIH says, hey, we should get into bed and start making vaccines with Moderna. That contract was negotiated in 2015. Rand, they signed the contract on December 12th, 2019. That's a little odd, don't you think?
Yeah, that they had already begun the negotiations in anticipation of it.
And no. But
videos.
5 years or 4 years in advance, then they're not talking about it, and they rush to a signature on December 12th. What did they know? Why the rush to the signature then?
The other problem, too, with the government and Moderna owning is there's a huge stock of the vaccine now, and the current vaccine is not working very well. And, in fact, what I would be doing, instead of saying let's rush a booster of the same old vaccine, I would be releasing the newest one, which is a Delta variant vaccine, which might go back to a 90% efficacy. This one may have only, fairly soon it may only be a 30% efficacy, almost, a crapshoot as far as even taking it. But the thing is that a Delta variant might be enough. When the vaccine was effective in April and May of last year, it wasn't for lack of numbers that we didn't get to herd immunity. I thought we were very, very close in April and May. There were many doctors, Dr. McCary of Johns Hopkins, others saying they thought we were getting there. I thought we were close. We got down to less than 10,000 cases a day, and then it burst through because it developed resistance to the vaccine, basically. Mm-hmm. So unless you have a better vaccine, you keep using the old one, they're just going to keep boosting it. And if 3 is going to be mandatory, what about every month? Maybe you need a vaccine every week, Glenn. I mean, what are we going to dictate to people over time with this? When in reality, probably what we need is a new vaccine each year like we get for influenza. But it still ought to be your choice to take it. And for the high-risk people, it probably is a reasonable thing to keep doing the boosters or to have a new one. But a new one, I think, would be much better than the booster of the old one.
Let me ask you a question. Let me go back to the federal government, or the NIAID and NIH own the patent. They share the patent with Moderna. You can look at this a couple of ways. Hey, good for the United States. They negotiated a deal, and so they're making money on this. If we are making money, pay the taxpayer back. That'd be great. Get it for half price. That's great. I don't like the idea that we're in business like this. I don't know of another vaccine like this, an emergency vaccine. I mean, Salk didn't patent his work. The flu vaccine, it's open source all the time. This is the government forcing a vaccine that they co-own. And if we are getting paid, where's the money? Why hasn't this been made public? And my theory is, and this is just a theory, Brand, you'll probably be able to get to the bottom of it, is if they are getting paid, the money is going to NIAID or NIH, and it's going to be funding more gain-of-function research, almost like a black ops.
I think that's one possibility. We'll get a hold of the contract. Now that I know a little more about this, we'll actually make some phone calls today and write some letters and see if we can get the contract. But I guess my first suspicion would be that this is government we're dealing with. They probably signed a contract where they co-own it, but profits only flow to Moderna. I can't imagine any.
That just shows you that the government want to do away with the people, man. Especially you Negroes, Latinos, the Seminole Native American Indians. All right? This government, you can continue to vote for these people like they give a fuck about you. All right? It's out in the open that they want to kill you. All right? They've been killing you since the beginning of time, man. Wake the fuck up.
The government is so ineffective at trying to recoup costs on anything.
Right.
So you're right. If they are getting the money, probably it's under Fauci's control, and it just allows him to create more mischief. But I would say that there's a reasonable chance that there's no profit going to us and it's all going to Moderna, and maybe we take the liability. If they lose money, we'll probably have to bail them out somehow.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So, for example, if there's about 100 million doses left and the variant comes out, that's why they're not wanting to release the variant probably, is they don't want it to compete economically with the one they've got out there. And so if you have a self-interest and you already own it, you might not want the new vaccine to come out because it would compete with your old vaccine. The companies are going to be hesitant on putting it forward, too, because they want to sell all their old one before they get caught up in a new one.
This is why the government doesn't get into business with people. You don't get into business like this because there's no police then. When they're doing this, the government has no interest in exposing this and saying, hey, you've got a vaccine that you're pushing on everybody and it doesn't work. There's nobody to run to because the government is the police. They're the last stop.
Right. You have to realize also that the big billion-dollar companies that have been bailed out by this are the health insurance companies. So in normal times, if you have health insurance and if it covers your medications, your vaccine would have been covered and your monoclonal antibodies and all of the different treatments. Instead, the government bought all the stuff, and now the government's in charge of distributing it. But now you get into the conflict of interest. Well, what if deplorable people need more of it? What if Republicans need more of it? The government, has already indicated that these people are using too much of it, and they've talked about limiting the supply for Florida and Texas. But you can see how the real problems get into play when the government's in charge of the distribution and the decision making.
Rand, you can get the contract. I can send it to you personally, or you can go. Anybody can go to blazetvspecial.com, and all of the research from last night's show, including every page of that contract, will be sent to you. We want everybody to have copies of everything, so they know exactly what was going on. So we'll get that contract to you, or you can go there. What?
Yeah, and if there are questions that are murky, what we can do is then address them directly. Where does the profit go? How's the profit divided? Because it may be murky from the contract. So we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
We'll come up for it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Rand.
I don't trust this guy, Rand Paul, either. He may seem like a good guy on the outside, but hey, man, who knows? All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." All right? So Esau, this is what's going on, man. The Lord is stripping you naked. He is exposing you, man. All right? All these little secret meetings that you have with the Illuminati at the Bohemian Grove, all these wicked councils, all of these things, man, they're out on the forefront. You can't hide from these things, all right? It says his seed is spoiled and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not, all right? It says, "Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me." Okay, because you're going to be done away with, and we're going to have everything that you have, right? Everything that you're laying up for yourself, we will take. That's reserved for us, the hopeful elect, all right? It says, verse 12, "For thus said the Lord, Yahawashi, behold, They whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. All right, and that was us, man. Us Israelites, you know. It says, "For thus said the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken." And that cup is the wrath of indignation, man. All right, righteous anger. It says, "And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it," right? Because you think you're going to get away with these crimes and these atrocities that you're doing to the whole planet, especially the apple of the Lord's eye, all right? It says, "For I have sworn by myself, said the Lord Yahawashi, that Basra shall become a desolation." And modern day Basra is America, Babylon the Great, because that's mostly where you Edomites dwell at, all right? You came over here. Well, you came out of the Caucasus Mountains, and ever since you have been raping, robbing, and stealing land, people, babies, cattle. You have been doing all these wicked, vile crimes, man. All right, but hey, you was only released for a little season. All right, your time is up. It says, "For I have sworn by myself, said the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste." All right, so the Lord is about to make his move, man. All right, we understand that you got concentration camps ready. All right, we understand that you got the guillotine ready for the no-hide laws. You know, through our elders and apostles, through the spirit and power of Yahawashi Ashad, through our elders and apostles, you know, he has woken up the hopeful elect. You know, Yahawashi has woken up the hopeful elect. All right, so we're not ignorant of what you're doing, Satan. All right, and Satan means adversary, and you truly are the adversary of Yahawashi Ashad, because you swearing on this Bible, and you keep none of the laws, man, none. Okay. And I'm gonna close out with this video, you know. Where is it? I had seen it yesterday by the brother out in, well, here it is. No, but this is the pride of these devils. I'm gonna play this video.
Calling people anti-vaxxers, some of whom were vaccinated, has had an impact at all on vaccine take-up in parts of the territory?
No, and I'll repeat it. If you are anti-mandate, you are absolutely anti-vax. I don't care what your personal vaccination status is. If you support, champion, give a green light, give comfort to, support anybody who argues against the vaccine, you are an anti-vaxxer. Absolutely. Your personal vaccination status is utterly irrelevant. If you campaign against the mandate, if you campaign against people being vaccinated in vulnerable settings, teachers in classrooms, I'll be really clear, at that point in time, people were actually supporting the idea of a teacher being unvaccinated in a remote community classroom with kids who cannot be vaccinated. I reject that utterly, and I still reject it. And if you are out there in any way, shape or form campaigning against this mandate, you are absolutely anti-vax. If you say pro-persuasion, stuff it, shove it. We are absolutely going to make sure as many Territorians as possible are vaccinated. That is our best protection against this thing. And if you look at the Doherty modelling that's only come out since, that says if you double dose 80 in remote communities, 5 and up, I think you'll see our vaccine mandate is absolutely crucial to protecting lives, particularly Aboriginal lives. And I will never back away from supporting vaccines. And anyone out there who comes for the mandate, you are anti-vax.
Man, you hear this devil, man? Hey, they accomplished a diligent search, man. This, you know, hey, man, things are gonna get even worse, man. All right, so that's why you have to cover yourself with the spirit of Yahawashi Yahawashi. All right, and this is the video right here that the brother GMS dedication.
Wahrscheinlich wird am Ende dieses Winters so ziemlich jeder in Deutschland, das wurde ja manchmal schon etwas zynisch genannt, geimpft, genesen oder gestorben sein.
Hey,
wahrscheinlich.
Shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Bashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, peace and blessings to you, fellow brothers, pushing out this word and truth is the series, brother Khanak. Just really quick, just a real quick video, impromptu. This is from RT, okay, and this is the German health minister. Of course, he's speaking in German, okay. But look what he says. The title even says it all. Okay, Germans will be vaccinated, cured, or dead by winter's end. Okay, this might just be that dark winter that Esau Edom is speaking about, and we know, what that dark winter means. You should already know. Okay, this might just be, when Esau just makes that move. He's already made it compulsory for all citizens in Austria, and talks of the German government doing the same thing. So, hey, it's going to be real nasty. It's going to get real nasty. Like I said, this might just be that dark winter. Look what he said. He said by the end of this winter, okay, by winter's end, either the German citizens will be vaccinated, okay, cured, whatever the hell that means. What does cured mean? Okay. Or dead. Okay, that's something to think about. Shalom to the elect.
That's heavy, man. All right, yeah, I'm gonna leave off with that, man. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rechakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone who rule well and teach sound doctrine. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Kwam Yasharala Bible Ball.